Poi transitions, so helpful, but so hard to find. Drex here from DrexFactor.com, coming at you with a brand new combo for the month of April. I know I promised one that was going to be dancier this month, but then I got a great idea and I wanted to share it with you guys. So this month's combo is centered around the idea of finding transitions between different spots that all have the same timing and direction between the poi in common with them. I really think that if you look for these spots, you're going to find a lot more of them than you might anticipate, and they're going to give you access to a ton of different tricks. Given the number of tricks involved as well as where all these transitions happen to be, I'm going to go ahead and call this an intermediate combo. To learn this month's combo, you should know how to do the following tricks. Number 1, archer weave fountains. Number 2, body tracing hybrids. Number 3, windmills. Number 4, linear isolations. Number 5, pendulum versus triquetra. And finally, spiral wraps. Now, you can find videos and tutorials for all these tricks down in the description of this video or up in the cards if you happen to be watching it on YouTube. I'm going to show you the combo at full speed, then take you through it step by step, and finally show it to you again in slow motion. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you know the next time I'm dropping a video. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to give a shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Amazing Lights, Flow Toys, Spinballs, Spinsconsin, and UltraPoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can find links to them all down in the description of this here video. Alright, so 90% of what you need to know in order to get this combo down boils down to just one thing, and that's that every single transition point that we're going to be using is going to involve the poi spinning in split time same direction. So no matter what timing and direction my hands happen to be moving in, the poi are always in split same, so they're always pointed away from each other. So we're going to start this combo off by doing the archer weave fountain. I start this by bringing my left hand over above my right shoulder and then taking the fountain down and around and then up and over. That's one rep. One quick tip for this combo, each and every trick that we're gonna do, there's gonna be 2 reps plus a little bit of extra so we can get to the transition point for the next trick. So for the archer weave fountain, we're gonna go down and around, and then up and over once, down and around, and then up and over twice. Yeah? Okay, so from home base right here, we're gonna hit our first transition point, and that's gonna be when our hands are both down towards our waist. It's also when we have extended our hands in the archer weave fountain, right? Now, this is the spot where we're gonna go into our body tracing hybrid. And the way we do that is we look for that moment when the right hand poi can get behind our bodies and we can bring both of our arms up through the middle, right? Now, again, we're gonna do this only twice. I'm just hanging out here for the sake of demonstration, but you know how sometimes we describe the top of the body tracing hybrid as being something like a windmill? Well, we're gonna use that to our advantage. The next time I have that moment where my left hand is in front of me at the top, I'm gonna let it drop down into a full-on Poitruvian man variation of a windmill, right? Cool, so from here our next transition point is just a little bit tricky. It happens when my left hand is reaching the top of this move and my right hand is at the very bottom, right there. Now, what makes this tricky is that rather than having my left hand poi go behind my head like it normally does, I'm gonna let it stay in front of my body. And that's gonna be the moment when I allow myself to switch into those linear isolations, like so. Cool, so from here, I'm looking again for that moment where my left hand poi is up top and my right hand poi is on bottom. It happens right there. It's basically the last part of this move, right? And what I'm gonna do at that point is I'm gonna switch into a 4-pedal anti-spin versus 2-pedal in-spin flower hybrid. Now, this is a trick that we didn't actually include in the to-do list here, and partially that's because I've never done a tutorial on it, and also partially because I really believe you guys can pick this one up on your own. To learn this one, basically you start with your 2 hands over to the side with the poi going in split time same direction, and I'm gonna train this as though it's in split opposite anti-spin, right? So I'm gonna follow my right hand poi and I'm gonna try and pop it up and bring it over to the other side of my body. As I do that, my left hand poi is gonna reach down and around to meet up with it on the other side. They wanna stay in the same timing and direction the entire time. Now, once I get over to my left hand side, I wanna drop the right hand poi down while the left hand poi goes up. Again, you wanna make sure that the poi are popping away from each other so that the left hand poi goes up and the right hand poi goes down. So with that in mind, try doing 3 beats on each side before switching. Say 3, 2, 1, pop, 3, 2, 1, drop, 3, 2, 1, pop, 3, 2, 1, drop. And then go down to only doing 2 beats on each side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah? Eventually you want to be able to get it to the point where you can just switch straight back and forth. And what you're going to find is that the right hand here is doing a 4-pedal anti-spin in diamond mode, and the left hand is doing a 2-pedal in-spin with the pedals on either side of the body. Now the cool thing about this, of course, is that the timing and direction is such that we wind up with the poi going in split time same direction and our hands going in split time opposites, which I personally think looks really cool. So now that we're here and it feels relatively stable, we're going to make our second to last transition. And that happens over on the left-hand side of the body right there, yeah? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into that pendulum versus triquetra hybrid. Which, how exactly does that work? Well, so my left hand here is doing a 2-pedal in-spin, and I'm basically going to treat the pedal over on the left-hand side of my body as though it's a stall, and I'm going to let the poi just drop straight down my midsection, and then it's going to start performing that triquetra, right? So you can think of it as it goes down and does 2 pedals, and then goes up into the triquetra. It's really, really important that that drop down kind of happens as close as possible to your center line in order to make the triquetra come out as clean as possible. Now the right hand, on the other hand, is going to stall out to the left-hand side and then just drop into a giant pendulum, sometimes called an extendulum for people who like to keep track of such things. Now, the cool thing about this transition is that for both hands, you're basically going to do a stall and then let gravity do the rest of the work for you. It's going to let both of the poi heads drop down as you're going into that pendulum versus triquetra hybrid. Now, I personally am used to doing the pendulum versus triquetra with my dominant hand doing the triquetra, and this is the opposite, and that's okay. I think it's actually very, very useful for you to learn how to do this hybrid with either hand doing either part of it. Okay, so just to show it one last time, as I'm doing this 4-pedal anti-spin versus 2-pedal in-spin, I'm going to stall out both poi on my left side and let them both drop into the pendulum versus triquetra hybrid, yeah? Now, remember at the beginning how I said that all of our transitions would happen with the poi in split time same direction? Well, we've kind of backed ourselves into a little bit of a corner here because this is a hybrid that's polyrhythmic. That is, it goes through multiple timing and direction combinations. Across the top, it still is going in split time same direction, so that's really the only place we have left where we can do this particular timing and direction, which, no bother. All we need to do is, as that left-hand poi is about to go up, we separate out our arms, and that's our moment to enter into the spiral wrap, which finishes off the combo. Sweet. So just to show all that off again, I'm going to start off by going into the archery fountain, going around once, and then twice, and then body tracer hybrid going up my body once, up my body twice, Poitruvian man once, twice, and then I switch into those linear isolations, and 4-pedal anti-spin versus 2-pedal in-spin, stall the poi into triquetra versus pendulum, and the last time around, I separate my arms and finish off with that spiral wrap. Cool, let's see all that again in slow motion. So one of the things that I hope you guys are going to see as you work your way through this combo is that we're literally using each and every transition point around the body, from top to bottom to either side, as a place to switch into a different trick. The one thing we're looking out for is that each of these positions have a point in which the poi are going split time same direction. Now I want you to try doing this with your own spinning. I want you to take a look at some tricks that you really enjoy and break them out into these 5 points: left, right, top, bottom, and in the middle, and see where the poi in your hands are oriented at each and every one of these points, and then look for other tricks that also have those points in common. This is the essence to doing really clean transitions, and it's also the essence to doing really clean looking flow. And now I want to see your version of this combo. Find 2 tricks that follow the same rules that all the rest of these tricks do and add them to the combo. Post it to Instagram with the hashtag DrexFactorPoi. I can't wait to see what you come up with. If you'd like to get more into the world of poi transitions, you should check out my Beyond the Basics course available on my learning site. It covers everything from behind the back to pendulums and even basic hybrids. You can check it out at learn.drexfactor.com. Before I send you guys off, I just wanted to include a huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons on Patreon. You guys are the ones that make these videos possible, and without your support, this channel would not exist. Finally, if you like this video and you want to see more like it, please hit the subscribe button by clicking up here. Over here we have a few videos that you may enjoy, including a playlist of videos that are just like the one that you just watched. Finally, if you'd like to support the work that I do, I have a Patreon available by clicking down here. Thank you so much in advance, and peace.